So the change in the solute concentrations in your extracellular fluid can have dramatic influences on the cells in your body. So here we're just looking at osmosis. So we're looking at the way that the water moves. And so if we have dehydration, so if I look at dehydration, what I'm meaning is that I have a higher solute concentration in my ESC, excuse me, my ECF. So this would cause an increase in the solute concentration. And so they're showing here, for example, a woman who's running in the desert. She's breathing out water. She's losing water by evaporative cooling. She might not be drinking, right? There's other things that can cause dehydration, including burns. So when you burn your body and you burn the skin, you can really quickly lose water across that surface because your skin helps to keep the water in. And then we did talk about vomiting and diarrhea as also a mechanism of water loss. So what happens with this is that the solute concentration starts to increase in the ECF. So water actually moves out. So water actually, and that's why they're showing here, water is at a higher concentration. So it would actually be, let's see if we could use the words here, hypertonic compared to the ECF. And so water is going to be lost. And so we have a loss of water from the cells and the cells shrink. Okay. So this just shows osmosis. There's another problem with having too low of electrolytes like sodium and chloride and potassium. And so that electrolyte balance is a different issue. So this is just in water balance. So the other consequences of drinking too much water, so the opposite of dehydration is actually what they call hypotonic hydration. And we talked about these terms earlier. So hypo means that the solute concentration is too low. So let's say that you have excessive water intake. So this is going to lower the solute concentrations. So I'll just abbreviate that, concentration outside the cell. So what happens is water moves via osmosis into the inside of the cell. So water moves into the cell. And so this can cause problems because the cells swell. And both hypotonic hydration and dehydration can also influence like your nervous system. And so probably more of a problem is being dehydrated because we oftentimes drink drinks that are not very good for hydration, like soda, and even like fruit juices aren't all that good because they have so much solutes in them, right? So drinking water is, and drinking just plain old water is better for hydration because it doesn't have sodium and chloride and it doesn't have other solutes that you're just going to absorb, and that's going to cause another problem with the solute concentrations. And so one of the things that sometimes happens when people are dehydrated is they get mentally confused. And in older people, it can be maybe they just don't feel thirsty, but they really are thirsty. And so they stop urinating and they get really dehydrated, and they can actually have mental confusion, which mimics dementia. And so as soon as they become hydrated, maybe you give them an IV, they start acting normally again because it was the dehydration that was causing the issue in the body.